What's going on, guys? So this video is going to be a little different. This is not going to be a match review as much as a match reaction. I'm going to try to come back at different moments in the game, halftime, or maybe when I have a moment or so, and react to key moments in the game, and of course give you my match reaction at the final. This is going to be the first time that I'm looking at the lineup, so I'm going to look at the lineup along with you guys. I'm not going to pretend that I know a lot about Arsenal lineup, so of course there's a couple of recognized names. Surprisingly, they have no recognized striker, but I think that's not actually that surprising when I think about the fact that, let's take a look at their injury list. Yeah, both Lacazette. Well, you know what? I know his form hasn't been great, but Aubameyang is on the bench. Maybe he wasn't healthy enough to start, because I can't believe that his form would cause him to be benched 2 games into the season. But Nicolas Pepe is starting at least according to this app, at center forward. Big Romelu Lukaku does start for Chelsea. Mount and Havertz have started, so no recognized winger for Chelsea. Interesting. With Ziyech out, it's not that surprising. Pulisic not really getting a start. Well, again, let me think about that. I forgot. Pulisic is out because he tested positive. So the only real recognized winger that Chelsea would have to put out there anyway would be Callum Hudson-Odoi. Wait, Hakim Ziyech is on the bench. Okay, that's good to know that he's back. At least in some capacity, will get some minutes. But both wingers are on the bench. Interesting. As I said, I'm reacting to this as I'm seeing it now. As I predicted, N'Golo Kante did not start. He's coming off of an injury, and I can't imagine that no matter how much respect we're showing Arsenal in their current form, the second game into the season would be worth risking him. As I pretty much predicted would happen, Kovacic and Jorginho started. Now, are you going to be able to look at any of my predictions on how the starting lineup would go? Not so much, because I didn't get the chance to put up my match preview and my predictive lineup. But Alonso starts. That's interesting. I would have thought maybe Chilwell would have come in. Maybe he's still working on fitness. Not that Alonso didn't have an amazing last game, but I would have thought to deal with the pace of Arsenal that maybe that would have been a tactical switch. Azpilicueta starts. Nothing really surprising there. Reece James, according to this formation on the app, is the center back, whereas Azpilicueta is going to be the wing back. I'm not so convinced on that, but there has been Thomas Tuchel doing that. Christensen and Rudiger in the back make up the rest of the back. Let's see. Chalobah is on the bench. Okay. Timo Werner is on the bench. I do expect to see him come in at some point. I think the most interesting thing, other than the obvious Romelu Lukaku coming in, that's not really all that interesting to me because it's not that surprising, is the fact that we went Mason Mount, Kai Havertz. I always predicted from Havertz came into the club, I actually thought Havertz and Mason Mount would be fighting over the same minutes. With the amount of wingers that we had, that at least one of them would start. So to see none of them in the lineup, I mean, kind of is loan to the fact that Hakim Ziyech just got injured or is fresh coming back from injured. Pulisic is right now out. So let's just keep an eye on that and see how this develops. As far as centre-backs, okay. Silva is on the bench as I predicted. I did see I saw some other content creators predicting Silva would go into the lineup because he played the full 90. But the thing is, he played the full 90 against, sorry, my son is running around. He played the full 90 in a behind-the-door game against a non-league team. I don't think that would mean that he would go from that straight into the lineup. So him being on the bench makes a lot of sense. Is there anything else surprising about the bench? Not really. Timo Werner being on the bench is a little surprising, but he will get his chance, and I think he will score goals playing alongside Romelu Lukaku. So, all in all, a few little surprises here and there, but very small, minor surprises, and all really, when you think them out, they're kind of understandable. Let's see how the game goes. So we're 6 minutes to game time. Let's see how this rocks. As this match is about to kick off, it's literally about a minute before. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I'm going to feel good about our chances. Arsenal don't look to be in great form. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Arteta. But that also leaves a small chance for Chelsea to think that they're going to steamroll the London rivals. I really want Chelsea to have a strong showing, not to really dump on Arsenal while, they're down, but they're an opponent. So if we can, make it look bad, as bad as that sounds. 3-4-0, something like that. That's not a prediction, that's more of a hope. I just really want the 3 points. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're in the 10th minute, and there are signs that Arsenal can trouble us. Backline doesn't look all that settled. Of course, Alonso is going to be key name checked, even though nothing has really happened yet. Watching this corner by them. All right, into Mendy's hands. It's funny because they seem to be attacking up their left flank, coming up our right, which you would think would be our strong side, Reece James and Azpilicueta. But, I mean, it's 10 minutes into the game, so let's see what happens. It's still 0-0, so, as I said, tune in a few minutes, hopefully, when something happens more eventful. Hopefully that will be a goal for Chelsea, but let's see what happens. Yes! All right, so into the 15th minute, we have Romelu Lukaku with a triumphant return to Chelsea. Let's take a look at the replay. I actually was in the kitchen trying to cook little man some food. Let's take a look at this goal here. Okay, clearly onside. Oh, this is just tap-ins. See, this is the kind of thing that they said we were missing last year. Where we'd have balls fizzed across into a dangerous area. I mean, this is a walk-in for Romelu Lukaku. I mean, Reece James couldn't have made this any easier for him. But this is kind of what he's going to be able to really count on. It's funny because earlier in his career, they kept calling him flat track bully. But even against bigger sides, some people will argue that Arsenal isn't that big of a side right now on their current form. But let's be real, this is a London derby. This is still Arsenal, with all respect to them. These are the kind of things that they will be looking to finish off. This will be great for his confidence on starting up. We started a little lackluster, if I have to be critical. But of course, into the 16th minute, we're up 1-0. So as spoiled as this is going to sound, we're in the 34th minute. And even though we're up 1-0, there isn't much to be overly excited about from our performance. I mean, yeah, we still have our clean sheet, and we are leading away from home. That's all you can really ask for. And as soon as I open my mouth, there we go with a Reece James goal. Now that was quality. That was quality. Up until that moment, I kind of felt like we were going a little quiet. This seems almost like the old spirit of that very old, like Jose Mourinho style. Arsenal does everything but score. We do everything. We do nothing but score. We're being defensively resolute, if not like overly confident in the fact that we're being defensively resolute. Reece James is kind of terrorizing them at this point. He has the assist and then just a hell of a finish. They don't seem to have any answer on that, on our right side, their left side, to Reece James when we are in attack. Would be interesting to see what's going to happen if Timo Werner gets some minutes against Arsenal. or if we get a traditional winger on there. Hudson-Odoi still not preferred to when two of our wingers are out. That's something to think about, the fact that both Hakim Ziyech and Pulisic are out and still Hudson-Odoi still on the bench. This could get ugly for Arsenal. It's 2-0 and it's not the half. And the funny thing is, as soon as I open my mouth about not much to be excited about, there's a goal. Again, I'm wondering if this is opposition versus how good we are. Just because Arsenal is starting off in such a low point at the beginning of the season. Let's see how that works out. No, it's a ridiculous even premise to think that that was a penalty. You're running, somebody's behind you, your foot in your natural stride reaches back and makes contact with somebody else. That can't be a penalty. I mean, at that point, we're gonna start reaching a point where we're saying, if I have the ball, I can kick you and it's a penalty on me because there's contact. He's the one that engaged the contact with Reece James. The fact that they got in the penalty box is a little bit more worrying, because the ease at which they got into the penalty box with Saka is a little bit more worrying than anything. But that, I can't even believe there were people asking about whether or not they should look at that from VAR standards. All right, so halftime against Arsenal, 2-0. It's a little weird because obviously we're winning and this is a London derby away and we're comfortably winning. But yet I'm still not totally sold on the performance so far. There has been a couple of times that Arsenal look like they've been able to cause us problems. Nothing overly worrying, except for one moment. I have to watch it back again. Was with Rudiger and one of the balls coming in from their left, their attacking left, and the ball just went right across the goal line, and to me it just looked a little casual by Rudiger. Made it go across the body instead of kind of no nonsense out of there, especially that late in the half. There was like an overhead kick attempt that they didn't get to. Who knows what would have happened if they had made contact with that. But what can we ask for as Chelsea fans? Romelu Lukaku scores on his debut, and then Reece James with a really good effort from that right side. I'd like to actually see Timo Werner come in and play with him now. Not to be hypercritical, but haven't seen enough from Havertz to really keep him in the whole game. We understand that there's industry from Mason Mount. So I'd like to see another attacker on there. I'd like to see either Hudson-Odoi come in, get some minutes maybe on that right side, or I'd like to see Timo Werner come in on that, even if he's pushed out on the right side, but on either side of Romelu Lukaku, and play both of them and see what happens there. Backline doesn't look totally settled, if not at least competent. Let's see what happens in this half. All right, so this is concerning. 73rd minute. Reece James is getting treated right now. Not sure exactly what's going on. We're waiting for replay or to see what is going on. This would not be good for Chelsea Football Club of all players. Not that you want to see it happen to anybody, but I believe he'll be very integral to our season. And I mean, beyond just, just as a footballing fan, just concern for players with what we've seen in recent past. He's still down on the floor at this point. Gonna see if it was a clash of heads. At least he's sitting up right now under his own power. So still waiting for a replay to see what exactly happened. I think my eyes might have been off screen for a second. Okay, so he's walking under his own power. Seems to be checking his mouth. At least that's a good sign. I'm kind of shocked that we have yet to see a replay. Like, the whole time he was on the floor being treated, they were showing people like in the stands and other things of that nature. We're defending this corner right now. So Chelsea down to 10 men, and we still haven't heard or seen what exactly transpired. I guess we're waiting on. Okay, Mendy has the ball now. Maybe finally we can get a replay of what happened. Nope. We get a replay of the ball going into Mendy's hand. So I have no idea what happened. All right, 87th minute. We just had an attack go up the top. Lukaku does what we expect him to do and then actually lays off the ball to Kai Havertz, which I'm having a hard time justifying how he stayed on the pitch the entire 90 minutes. Him and Mason Mount, all right, fine. You take off Mason Mount to rest him, but still, like, at this point, Timo Havertz, but still at this point, Timo Werner should have come on or something. Like, I don't see what Havertz has done this game to justify playing the full 90. And I mean, maybe it's just I'd like to see the two center forwards link up play and see us with both of them on the field. I'm not begrudging seeing, Ziyech come on, but just the layoff to Kai Havertz and then him absolutely basically wasting a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. What the hell was that about? It will probably be the next game before we actually get to see the two up front, the Timo Havertz-Lukaku partnership that I think is going to be very fruitful. But it's just kind of, and again, call me spoiled as a Chelsea fan, we're up 2-0, cruising to what looks like a short 3 points at this point. And here comes Timo Werner now in what? The 88th minute? Like, what's the point of this substitution? It's like a time-wasting sub?
Release the Kraken!